Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being involved in the Boys and Girls Club in whatever capacity. I'd like to talk about the intangibles of the club, what the club means to every person who walks into it, but what it has meant to me. I think that the club for me has made me understand and realize my best self. I think that everyone has this version of themselves. They might not always see it, and not everywhere is the place where they can let it shine and find who it is that they really are.
The club introduced me to Keystone when I was a freshman in high school, and opened my world to more than just financial success. I, for some reason, fell in love with community service and began to change who I was as a person for the better. I was leader in training, junior staff, on the Keystone Executive Board in junior year, and am currently the president of Keystone. My fondest memory of the club has to do with my future military service, and only took place a few months ago in October, far from the doors of Boys and Girls Club. Mike and Kristen had sent Jeffrey and myself on a trip to Alexandria, Virginia for a conference. Jeff, who taught me pretty much everything I needed to know about working at the Boys and Girls Club, and myself were on the metro, heading from Alexandria to Washington, D.C. for a meeting. Just so happened that that metro line that we were on stopped at the Pentagon. Thus, there were two soldiers in full uniform heading to work. Jeff looks over to me and says, "Let's go say something to them." Myself, being the teenage boy that I am, I wasn't too fond of going up to two service members who I don't know. After a moment or so, Jeff finally started walking over towards the two gentlemen without even telling me. Thankfully, I chose to follow, not knowing what we were going to say or do. As we get to the two men, Jeff casually sticks out his hand and says, "Thank you for your service." I do the same after. It may not seem like much to you, but to me, that was the most impactful moment of my Boys and Girls Club life.
This is my home away from home. This is the place that I come from. I want to stay here forever. Don't make me go. This is my home away from home. This is the place that I come from. I want to stay here. Don't make me leave this home from home.
So when I look back at when I started going here, I was probably one of the shyest kids at the club, and when you look at me today, you would never thought I would make it this far. The day afterwards, I show up to the club, and I didn't have to work that day, and one of the kids who I was counselor for came up to me and he asked, you didn't lose your funniness, did you?" And I said, "No way." And it was then I realized that I have this talent of making people laugh. And every day when I come into the club, I want to make a smile on everybody's face. That's my job, and if I don't do it, then I failed. And I can't thank the club enough. This place really changed me, and it made me who I am today, and I can't thank them enough.
When I came to the club, I experienced something that I didn't get at that other place. I was shown compassion, I was shown friendship by all the staff, and by so many other people here. You know, when I came to the club, I opened up. I discovered something that I didn't know I had. and I was encouraged to make new friends and the ability to learn to be myself. When I opened up, I was just changed. You know, I found myself having fun, and I would find myself laughing with all my new friends. And even now, all the people that I see, all the kids that I see at the club every week, and they're all, I find them all family, and they're all my family now, and they're all friends of mine.
I started going to the club when I was 6 years old, right after my parents' divorce. And for the first couple of months, I was a very anxious kid, and I didn't participate in any activities. And I found myself getting in trouble all the time and being put on the bench weekly. But what made me begin to feel more confident about myself was when Mike gave me the nickname Heinzie. It's pretty simple, just putting a Y to my last name. It made me feel like I belonged and I formed an identity. Overall, the club has shaped my life, and I can't thank the staff enough for changing who I am. So thank you.
This is what everyone at the club did for me when I was younger, being there when I needed someone to talk to, guiding me through life. Because of this, I'm no longer the shy, reserved little girl who could not form relationships with people. Rather, I'm outgoing, ambitious, and open. If I had not gone to the club, I can honestly say that I would lack these qualities. Those on the outside view the club as just a place that everyone can go after school because their parents work. I would disagree. To me, the club is a safe haven. For a few hours a day, I'm able to go out and get my mind off things. I don't have to worry about what I cannot control. I am just me.
Tonight, I want to tell you about the opportunities that were granted to me the day I initially walked into the Boys and Girls Club. In 2006, at the age of 9, I moved from El Salvador to Richfield with my sister Jackie, meeting my mother here with the hope of a better future. I did not speak any English at the time, so I was petrified to start off a new school, unable to talk to anyone, and being isolated. It was the first week of school when Janice Johnson pulled me out of the classroom to help me develop my English, and she changed my life in many ways, and one of them was bringing me to the Boys and Girls Club. When I started, unable to communicate with others led me to frustration, which then developed into behavioral issues. I'll always carry this memory with me because it showed me that at the club, there are people who are willing to go above and beyond to see me succeed. Throughout my childhood, the club became a home and a family altogether, consisting of a supporting staff, loving friendships, and cheerful members. Coming back to the Boys and Girls Club was the best decision of my life. The staff immediately welcomed me back, and I knew right away that this is where I belong. I realized that I wanted to give back to the club by volunteering, because it provided me with opportunities that I would otherwise have never had. I wanted to provide these same opportunities to the current club members. However, in my attempt to give back to the club, I learned even more than I had originally gained, and the club provided me with even more opportunities than before. I learned the importance of being happy and being in the company of good people. This inspired me to take actions and make significant changes in my life. I've always had the desire to help those in need, and when I see someone in a bad situation, I want to help them. As I have been in those tough situations myself, I know what it is like to be in need and isolated. The club has provided me with many opportunities I otherwise would have never had, particularly through Keystone, a program that strictly focuses on helping teens develop into young adults. The staff, both old and new, has helped me improve into a young adult. As a child, my mother being the only income in the household, it was hard to do anything out of the usual. Luckily, the club also provided me with many privileges, exposing me to new places and doing things I would have never done if it weren't for the club. Allowing me to attend 2 national Keystone conferences, the club's help has allowed me to explore new things, like going on an airplane for the first time last year, and now as a teen, setting me up to be the first one to attend college. Attending college is a significant accomplishment that I want to do because it opens up an entirely new world for me. It helps me brighten my future, and most importantly, it's something that would have never been possible without the help of the club. As a teen, looking back at the last 9 years, I can see a significant development in my behavior. I can see I've come a long way from the bench to now standing in front of you as a Youth of the Year candidate. I thank the club for providing me with a home, friends, and a family I can trust and will forever remember and keep in my heart for the years to come. I can credit the Boys and Girls Club for saving my life. It has not only helped me stay out of trouble in and outside of the club, but has served me as a parent that taught me the values of life, disciplined me in the proper manner, gave me a place to go instead of getting in trouble, and provided me with all the figures I could ever need in my life.
It's very hard for a girl counselor to be the favorite counselor of a boy kid. They usually like the big, strong boy counselors who do all the sports with them. But hearing Sam telling me that I was his favorite girl counselor, it really shocked me to think that this kid that would defy my authority every day our first year together would say this to me. But it made me feel like I'm really doing something right, and it really made me feel like I was making an impact. And the happiness I gain from the club is what motivates me to pass the happiness on to others. And I want to thank the club and everyone who works in the club and all my friends, because without them I would not be able to do what I love. So thank you.
I ended up going to the first Keystone meeting, which was probably one of the best decisions I made. And it was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. I mean, immediately you saw these friendly faces, and whether it's like Jess or Kristen greeting you at the door, I mean, you knew immediately that their intent was to help you and get you to a better place. And it was so, it just like calmed all of my nerves that I had.
It is with great pleasure that I have this opportunity tonight to announce the 2016 Youth of the Year. An incredible individual, someone who has fought through adversity, but has won. And we heard that tonight. And our Youth of the Year for 2016 is Eric Block.
Lastly, I just want to take the time and thank our donors and the board of the Boys and Girls Club, because without your support and help, none of this would be possible. It most certainly takes a village to raise a child, but without the help of the donors, I wouldn't be able to stand up here tonight, and thank you for giving me the chance to succeed, and giving every teen on this stage the chance to learn every single day, to help us prepare for the tasks lying ahead of us in college. And once again, I want to thank every single one of you for coming out here tonight.